To cry is to sit and cry. I didn't do that. I did have tears run down my face.
Hey man, that's crying.
No, it's not, because I was busy. Having tears run down my face as I'm doing push-ups, or tears run down my face as I'm organizing the school for my child and my voice isn't breaking, is different than sitting and crying. I didn't sit and dedicate myself to crying. I didn't sit and do the act of crying. My eyes leaked as I achieved.
Okay, and now you're leading men.
Yep.
But there's a huge crowd of people that you will never understand or touch.
Yep.
Because I feel pridefully, you don't give a fuck. You're like, if you can't come on with me on this journey, then get the fuck bent. Literally, metaphorically, and physically.
Well, not all minds are ready to be freed. They say it inside of the movie.
But which one is valuable enough to be free? Christ saved everybody. He didn't just come and pick a couple people.
Absolutely, but you can lead a horse to water, or you cannot force it to drink. And I feel like the reason why I'm now one of the most liked people on the internet, and the reason my comments are so positive, I have to answer that question, is because I feel like I'm heavily leveraged against chaos. The thing is with my brand, I don't entertain. I do entertain, but that's not my purpose. I'm trying to teach people things. I'm trying to give them things. Even the things I sell are beneficial. I have a school that teaches people how to make money online. It's beneficial. If you follow me, you can make money online. You'll start to train and go to the gym. You'll listen to some positive motivational things. You'll feel more motivated. I'll try and guide you towards God. Either one. I'm not even strictly Islam. I believe that if you are a religious person, you're a better person regardless of the religion you choose.
Because you have to follow your morals and have boundaries.
Absolutely. So all of my messaging is positive. So as the world gets more messed up, I'm leveraged against chaos. As the world becomes a bigger mess, as people struggle to survive to pay their bills, as people become more and more unhappy, as the wars start, all this craziness, people sit there and go, do I want to be entertained by clowns? Do I want to watch these streamers who are clowns? Do I want to be entertained? Or do I want a solution? Do I want some form of stability? Who is saying things which can actually help me, which actually will directly impact my life in real time and make me feel better? And that's me. So I'm not an entertainer in that way, which is why I believe my brand has become so strong and why most people like me. And it's also why a lot of people will forgive me for being semi-abrasive, because I feel like as the world gets more messed up, which it is, people are going to learn some very abrasive, harsh lessons. And sometimes when you've gone through a very harsh lesson, to be given a solution which isn't harsh, you're not going to believe it. To be given a harsh solution makes you feel like, okay, this guy knows exactly what he's talking about. I was on a podcast very recently. I don't think it's even come out yet. And I was explaining to somebody, we were talking about depression, which everyone asked me about.
I'm going to circle back to that. I have something in my notes for that.
Yeah, and I was saying that as a man, your life is supposed to be shit. My argument to this is people go, oh, I don't feel good. I say, good. Your life as a man is going to be terrible the entire time. Who told you at any point, I don't know what the Bible says. I haven't read it cover to cover like I've read the Quran. But I don't think the Bible says you're supposed to be happy all of the time. The Quran certainly doesn't.
Well, in Matthew, it says you're supposed to cast your anxiety and depression on him. So life isn't going to be easier, but you could go. Let me give you an example.
Sure.
When Jesus was walking on the water, this is the example I say. When a storm hits, the storm is still hitting.
Yep.
But there's a difference from you drowning in the storm or standing above the storm.
Absolutely.
And I think that you're always going to have challenges and obstacles.
Storms are going to come.
But I guarantee you, there's obstacles that you could walk through with a smile on your face that another man could fall apart.
Absolutely. I've just been through some, and I'm sure I'll have more.
What was it?
Well, it says in the Quran, just because you believe, you think Allah will not test you. Just because you believe in me, you think you're not going to be tested.
I think being tested is a great thing for
That's
you.
how God shows love.
Yeah.
Because because God's love is a disciplinarian love. It's a masculine love. It's like a father. A father shows love through putting you on the bike, letting you fall over, letting you hurt your knee, picking you back up, putting you back on the bike. That's how a father shows love, and God is the same.
Your father used to push you down when you used to be a kid.
That's right.
And your mom used to be upset about this. Let's time travel back to you as a child.
Sure.
Because I feel like what made you who you are now is based mostly off of how you were raised.
Absolutely.
Take me back.
Yeah, I think I had the best possible upbringing a person can have, which is good parents and no money. I didn't get famous or rich young, which I also thank the Lord for. I think a lot of these people who get famous online quite early, I think they miss out a lot of life.
It's not real life.
It's not real life.
It's not real life.
No, I had real jobs and I did real things and I was really broke and I was really on the bus and really trying to pay rent and doing real stuff for a long time. The process itself is a punishment. The day I was arrested, all of my bank accounts were frozen. All of my cars were seized.
That's scary, dude.
Yeah, all of my cars were seized. All of my diamond watches were taken. $900,000 in cash was taken. Gold bars was taken. All of my value was taken, right? So since January, technically, I haven't had access to $1. It's now been a year, and I don't have a penny, according to DCAW and the Romanian legal system. Luckily, I have some good friends who look after me. But let's say...
You winked at me like I had that funds.
But
I don't.
They've taken everything officially.
So you still don't have your stuff back?
No, of course not. So this is my
Why
point.
are you still here?
Well, I can't leave.
But, okay, are you going to leave once you can? Because I feel like they just proved that you can't speak here either.
Well, that's the thing that's scary. If you can't speak here, which is the most Christian country on earth. You know, Romania, outside of Vatican City, is the most Christian country on the planet.
98%, and then the other two are like a different denomination.
That's right. Most Christian country on the planet. And all I'm talking about is traditional masculinity, and I got hit.
Are you upset with them for what they did, or do you feel like they had valid reasons to do what they did?
As a man, you have to take self-accountability for absolutely everything. I'm still upset with what they've done. However, there are equal opposing forces inside of Romania, one trying to lock me up and one that keeps setting me free.
And that's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, so I have people in this country on my team. The whole country's not against me, or I never would have got out. So
do you feel like they're more moving towards your direction?
This will be dropped. I'm not going to be found guilty because I haven't done anything wrong. But
and if you don't mind me asking, what did they try to pin you for?
They accused me of human trafficking. They accused me of using the lover boy method, which is convincing girls by being nice to do a job to take the money from the girls. Because I told 2 of my friends who are girls how to get big on TikTok.
That's why all of this happened to you?
Yeah.
So did somebody else plant this on you?
Oh, yeah, the Matrix.
Okay, gotcha.
You got too big. Your ability to speak, which that's a side point. Let me just finish here about when I was talking about money and gearing up for war. Since January, I haven't had access to a single dollar. Now, I'm me, right? So perhaps I have very rich friends. Perhaps I was paranoid and prepared. Perhaps I have multiple identities. Who knows how I pulled it off to have all new cars again, right? But most humans could not survive getting grabbed from their house in January, all of their bank accounts frozen, every app on their phone taken away from them, their passport seized, thrown in a cell, and then taken out of that cell, locked in their house for 5 months, and then even when they're allowed out of the house, they still don't have $1. How do you pay the rent? How do you pay the bills? How do you feed people? And this is what's actually interesting, because when I was in jail, my number one concerns were not for me. My biggest concerns when I was in jail was for everyone I care about. Yeah. I'd get my phone time, and I'd be on the phone like, okay, and they're like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, listen, we only have 5 minutes.
Let me make sure you get paid.
Is this paid?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Do you need this? Do you need that? I just spent all my time trying to look after other people from a prison cell with seized bank accounts.
Did you think you were going to come out?
No. I thought I was there for a very long time. I thought I was stuck. I thought it was over. I was sitting there talking to people who were there, been there for 4 years without trial, my friend. Everyone around me had been there for years without trial.
When you were put on house arrest, was there any moment that you cried from like happiness? It was like, I'm out. I can't believe I'm out.
I never cried from happiness. And I never cried from sadness, because I think crying is an act in and of itself. To cry is to sit and cry. I didn't do that. I did have tears run down my face.
Hey man, that's crying.
No, it's not, because I was busy. Having tears run down my face as I'm doing push-ups, or tears run down my face as I'm organizing the school for my child and my voice isn't breaking, is different than sitting and crying. I didn't sit and dedicate myself to crying. I didn't sit and do the act of crying. My eyes leaked as I achieved. That's what happened to me when I was inside of jail.
What made your eyes leak the most? What was the most concern that was on your heart?
My concern was for everybody else.
The number one, though, who's the person that you were like, I need to make sure that I look good in their eyes and I need to make sure that they're good?
Of course I can answer that my children, but my children are actually quite young, so they weren't overly concerned, because at their age, you know, dad's away, whatever. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was just an overarching view of everything. And I felt a frustration because I had built this monumental empire and it got seized from me, which is a whole nother conversation we can go down when you talk about ownership and property and how the Matrix works.
You don't own anything.
Well, you never do.
I mean, you owned all this, but then they're like...
That's right. So what do you own? You own the body you're in, perhaps, but then they force you to get a vaccine, so maybe you don't own that anymore. You own your soul. You can own your thoughts, but then that belongs to God. So then what do you even own now on this planet? Because I have people say to me all the time, oh, I'd love to buy a house. And I own my house. You don't own that house. You have to pay property taxes every month. And if you don't pay them, they'll take it off you. You're renting it from the government. Piss the government off and you'll see how long you own your house. Because I tell you what's going to happen. They're going to turn up with a piece of paper and say it's ours. Done. Happened to me. So you never even own anything on this earth. no matter how much money you have, right? Which also puts money in perspective. All it is the time and energy of other people. It's all it's good for. You can buy a Bugatti, but you don't own that Bugatti. You can drive it a bit if they let you. And piss the matrix off enough, they'll take that off you too. So the whole world, if you actually start analyzing how it all works, is interesting. But yeah, my concerns in jail were for absolutely everybody else. And that's perhaps why I'm gearing up for war so heavily, because I believe that this war can't be avoided. And a lot of people ask me, why, with my money, do I not do one of two things? Which is one, vanish. Because I could just delete everything and shut up, right? I could just go away.
But that's not you.
That's not me, and I think that God would be disappointed in me. So I think God's given me this platform to tell the truth, so I'm going to do it. Or the second thing is I could sell out to the system. I could cut.
It's also not you.
It's not me. I could sell to the system, say what they want me to say, promote the things they want me to promote, sell shit to kids, be a piece of shit, and then they'll let me live.
But then you just remove the only thing that you do own, and it's your soul.
Absolutely. And
you don't want them to take that away.
No, exactly. I need to keep something.
Yeah.
So it ain't worth giving that up for a bit more money, because I have unlimited money anyway.
Yeah, but plus, every time you swipe that card when you're gone, you're like, fuck my life, dog. This is anymore.
Oh, completely. What do you have if you don't look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I did the right thing? Then what do you even have?
Oh, boom. Not pride, but integrity.
Okay. And you'll survive, because your mind's right.
Yeah. Your father used to talk about death a lot.
Yep.
God forbid something does happen to you.
Yeah.
What do you want to be known for?
Firstly, I would never kill myself. I'd like to make that clear. I would never kill myself.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I'm like, I never said you would.
No.
But you're stating that just in case.
I would never kill myself.
Gotcha.
Under any circumstances, no matter what they say. And I think I'll be remembered for somebody who was brave, because I know the danger I'm in if I continue to talk. And when I say this, just like when I used to say about the Matrix and how they lie to us all during COVID, people didn't believe me. I want people to understand the situation I am currently in. I am the most popular person on the planet amongst the masculine youth, which is the most feared demographic of any country, of any nation. You need them heavily psyoped for a few reasons. One, if a bunch of masculine youth get together, it's not a demonstration, it's a revolution. That's the first thing. If women start complaining with picket boards, it's a demonstration. If masculine youth get together, it's a revolution.
Then you're dangerous because you don't even have a country.
Correct. All of them.
Yeah, well,
across the country,
shit.
across the world.
So they probably thought you were a terrorist.
Well, I could be. And that's what they're afraid of. So let's continue. So I have the number one demographic the Matrix needs to psyop. One, because of the revolutionary thing. Two, because you need them. They're the backbone of the slave force. You need them to build the roads. You need them to do the real work for low pay. They're the backbone of the slave force. They do the worst, hardest jobs for the shittest money, and they're the most depressed and most unhappy, and then women don't want to date them because they ain't got a Lambo, and they're sitting there depressed and unhappy, working their ass off, paying their taxes. You need those men psyoped. You don't want me coming along saying there's another way. And third, you need them to die in the military. You need these people. And I'm sitting here speaking to the exact people they don't want me speaking to. UK schools have banned me. My name cannot be mentioned in school in the UK, or you get detention, you get punished.
What are you talking about?
My name can't be banned. Google Andrew Tate banned English schools. In England, if a child or a student says my name, they are reprimanded.
That doesn't make sense to me. How is there so much garbage in the world that is legitimately evil? And you could talk about it. Let me give an example. I don't think any man or woman should ever have the right to have their voice be taken. Let me give an example. I love Jesus.
Yep.
But if somebody came up to me, flicked me off and be like, F your God, blah, 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 this is that. Guess what? Hey, man, that's okay.
Yeah.
You have every right to say that.
Yeah.
So